This project has become a little bit more urgent in the last couple of days. I got a call yesterday to say that the hotel rooms I've been working on, they're going to be needed by the end of the week. Actually, they're going to be needed by Monday. They're going to be needed by Monday so they can have them back and get the cleaners in there ready for customers coming to stay at the hotel. So that means they have to be finished really by Friday, because I'm not really planning on working on the weekend. And then this room here that I'm using to do all this painting, they have organised for this room to be cleaned and prepared tomorrow. So I've only got today in this room, and this is the room I've been using to do all this painting and preparation work, because it's too cold outside to do the work and then paint it afterwards. It's below zero most days now, so you can't do any painting outside. It has to be done first, and then you do the woodwork, and then maybe touch up the paint a little bit in places if it needs it, but you really need to get all the paintwork done inside in the warm before you put the wood on. So I'm in here today trying to prepare as much of this as I can, and then tomorrow I'll have to relocate to somewhere else in the hotel. So that's all just become a little bit more stressful in the last couple of days, or since yesterday, once I got that information. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem to get the stuff done that needs to be done for the hotel, but it's just going to make my life a little bit harder, because moving around is going to get a bit more restricted in the next few days, because there are guests arriving at the hotel, I believe, tomorrow. Not in the part where I'm working, but in and around the hotel. So walking and moving around the hotel becomes a bit more restricted. The places where I can have tools and material like all this stuff becomes a bit restricted, so it just makes life a little bit harder for the rest of the project. But that's usually the way every project goes. It's, you know, sort of fairly steady throughout, and then the last bit is always usually a bit miserable and a bit stressful. I don't know why that is, it just seems to be that way. So I'm in here today trying to get as much work done on these as I can so that they're prepared and ready. I think I'll be doing this again tomorrow, but somewhere else in the building. And then Friday, I will be able to put these, start fixing these to the building. Probably finish it off on Monday, realistically. I might get it all done Friday. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll get all the woodwork on the outside done Friday. And then Monday, I'll have to come here and just have a big clear up, because there's just going to be a lot of mess and a lot of material and products around in the areas where I've been working. I haven't really been able to get the time to do that as I've been doing the work, because I've just had to push on with the work. The new decking area and the doors and the hotel rooms, that's all turned out well. I'll get some more shots of that at the end, but I'm happy with the results from those parts. A little bit to finish off still on the balcony, like the decking area. It looks good already, so once I do those finishing pieces, it should just make it look complete, and it's a nice new area. And then obviously with the doors coming off the hotel rooms, whereas it's just, you know, a new deck area and a couple of doors, when you bring that together, it's like the two hotel rooms now have access to a balcony area, which they never had. The people that stay in the rooms can actually step outside of the room, which they never could before, onto like an outside leisure area. I mean, of course they could leave the hotel room, but they just couldn't get outside and sit outside or be outside like while they were using the hotel room. So I think it's quite a big change, you know, and it's like, it's as simple as building a small piece of deck and putting in a couple of new doors, and it transforms the space and the use of the space and the quality of the time people can spend in that space. So I think it's a pretty good investment as a project. I'm not the one paying for the project, so it might not be my opinion that matters when it comes to if it's a good investment, but I think it would be even to a house or any sort of building. If you can get an outdoor sort of terrace area, balcony, decking area, and then have direct access to that from a room, I think that's pretty nice. I think everybody likes that kind of thing. And it's easy to do, even on a house. If your house is made of wood or brick, creating these openings is quite straightforward. Ideally, you need someone who knows what they're doing, but once you have that, in terms of the scale of the project, it's way less in size than something like an extension or even like a conservatory. But it gives you a really nice usable space and a nice experience when you can just walk out of a room onto like a terraced area, even if it's a bedroom or a kitchen or a lounge. Yeah, it's just a nice thing to do. So you combine those two things, installing a couple of doors or installing one door and building a small deck area, and you can really transform the experience you can have with a space or with a room. About an hour ago, I was planning to leave and get some lunch and then come back. When I looked at the time, I thought it's unrealistic that I'm going to be able to do that by the time I go and get some food and then come back and eat it. I wouldn't have then had the time to get done this painting and the things I wanted to do. So that went out the window. I didn't really get any lunch, and now I'll just have to grab some food when I do leave. Oh, yeah, maybe in about 15 minutes I could leave, grab some food on the way to the next thing I've got to go and do. So it could work out quite well. It just didn't work out the way I'd initially planned it to work. Anyway, I'm going to get on with painting this and then moving on to the next stage. I have to finish up this whole project by Monday, so the videos will keep coming. But shortly after this video, I will be getting to the end of the project and then moving on to something new. I don't know what I'm moving on to next. It's going to be Christmas. I'm going to have a little bit of time off. I'll still be making videos and doing some work in the workshop, but I won't be out working on any projects, mainly because people, they don't really want you around when they're trying to enjoy Christmas or have some time off themselves. So I will take a little bit of a break from site work while it's Christmas and then get back into it in the new year.